Welcome to the Lunch and Blunt Show, and I'm your boy A-Wax in the motherfucking building. Today we got a very, very special guest. Man, we sitting down with my peoples, man. You know,
hey,
I gotta shout him out, man. Yockie Joe, man, from the big station, man. Showing us mad love here today at the Lunch and Blunt Show. And we're gonna sit down, man. And we're going to talk about a few things, Yockie Joe.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, my man.
Appreciate the opportunity. Big homie in the community, man.
Yeah, my man. You kind of, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check right now. You pulled up the Riding Two Lanes. Yeah. Man, I didn't put kids through school off that song. I bought my first house off that song. So that's kind of, man, I ain't heard the damn song. I probably haven't heard the song. I don't know, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I had
we taking it back, man. Right here.
I had to kind of collect my emotions. That's what's up, though. I mean, my son here with me right now. He was a little kid running around in the studio.
Wow.
While making this record. So.
Wow, man. That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. All right, so hey, we sit down with my boy Pratt. We got Kmjj in the building. We got Geo Ghost in the building.
All right.
We got Neighborhood Jalen in the building, and y'all know Yockie Joe.
What's up, man? Yockie Joe, 36 OZ. What's up?
36 OZ.
And who you got with you, man?
Got my son. What's up, man? That's Emil Carey the third.
All right.
Yeah, he a football player, so he go by his full name.
Yeah, you got everything on the back of his shirt.
Yeah, man.
They ain't go from front to back, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's
nothing wrong with that.
Y'all stay tuned. Alright, so we sit down, man, with boy Yockie Joe in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Wax, what's up, man?
Man, how you doing today? How you
doing real good, man. Very inspired right now. It's a good time in the music industry, entertainment. And so definitely got a lot of things going on.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate the venue, my man, because a lot of stuff we doing really haven't been real vocal about it. Just kind of like in the family, we just really just been working and getting things together. So I guess this will be that avenue to let some of that out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna give you that platform, man. We want to talk about it here. It's more than just smoking a blunt around here, man. We do more than just smoke, man. We smoke with a purpose around here. We want to bring it to the forefront. Exactly. We want to bring it to the forefront.
It's from the earth, man. I understand that.
Real. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know, Yockie Joe. I'm gonna hit you with this. You were originally born from Oakland, California.
Yes, sir. I was born in Oakland, California,
All right.
And a lot of people don't know like our roots in California are very strong from Louisiana.
Exactly.
In the late '60s and the '70s, African Americans started migrating out to California to get from up under the Jim Crow. Of course, the Panther Party was very strong, had a strong presence in Oakland, California at the time. And my father and my mother, both from Louisiana, but my father fought in Vietnam, and he was stationed over at Barksdale Base. And my mother went to Booker T. Washington, and they was over there. They was. My mother went to a party on the base and met my father.
Wow.
Long story short, they met. They got married here in Shreveport, and they moved to Houston, and then moved to California.
Yeah. And
I was born, and unfortunately, the marriage didn't go on the course as I guess they wish it would have, and somehow we made it back down. Me and my father came first, and then my mother came after, and I've been in Louisiana. I moved to Allendale neighborhood in 1980, want to say 85, 86.
85, 86.
Yeah.
Wow. It was good years, though.
Yeah.
It was good years, man.
It was
85, 86.
Yeah, man. It was good, and then it got to be challenging, with the crack epidemic coming into play.
Yeah, in that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But coming from Oakland, I mean, how was the change?
Well, it definitely was a big culture change for myself, because in California, for one thing, there's not so many damn trees all over the place. That was one of the things when I first got to Louisiana. I was like, damn, all these trees all over the place, and rain and all like that. Like, in Northern California, we won't have a lot of that, and it was what I mean by culture, like, for as the racial shit, I didn't really experience that too strong until I got here. It was in Cali. It wasn't all about this white and this black. And you had several different nationalities there. Your Korean, your Spanish, your Arabic. Your whites, your blacks. Everybody was just all one melting pot. So that wasn't something that stood out as strong. And I remember like when I first got here, like I didn't sound like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Proper.
Yeah, big time. So you knew something.
Automobile.
Yeah, the pronunciation of Cali guys is a lot different.
Yeah.
So that was a little challenging, at first, but I started to meet a lot of friends in my hood, and my family was deep rooted in Allendale. Yeah. So the merger, it didn't take long to really fit in.
Man, I got a chance to meet your mother, man. She's a really great person.
Oh, good looking, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's a gangster.
She showed me mad love every time I see her.
100%. That's what's up.
You looking out for my son?
Yeah.
Man.
She's cool, my man.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from her in Cali, and being in California, there's a documentary that we're putting together right now that speaks a lot of that life and that time we were in Cali.
Okay.
And a lot of people know, like my mama's, she a gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's a gangster. So there were some things that I experienced there, and it was real. And then when we got to Louisiana, we brought some of that life with us, and I kind of grew up in that culture, and then in that time in Allendale, it got pretty real quick,
Yeah. You have to grow up fast in some situations. Sometimes you just have to go ahead and put the toys down.
Yeah, man.
Get real about it.
Got real quick.
That's one thing. Hold on, before you jump there, that's one thing I want to know though. How much did the lifestyle of Allendale relate to the gang life in California?
Okay, well, like when I was in, that was like 84, 85 when we left Oakland. I didn't really get a chance to experience a lot of it. A lot of that was it was more isolated because, see, the thing about Oakland versus Los Angeles, Oakland was still there was a lot of still activists, proud to be black, rooted, than more so of the gang banging, like in LA. And then in LA at that, like I had cousins in LA too. That shit was just really, well, let me not jump off course, but just to bring people a little bit onto this whole gang banging life. Like a lot of people don't really understand, because my family really in that shit.
No, I know what you're saying.
LA,
I know the culture.
Okay.
Yeah. I came from Houston.
Yeah. Okay.
I was born here, but came from Houston, and that's I came from Third Ward.
Yeah.
I don't
So
look. I didn't know too much about it.
Right, man. So like a lot of people just get this misunderstanding that we just a bunch of black hooligans, banging a color.
No.
Now, so the Crips and Bloods, these was organizations that was put together to take our neighborhoods back, to look after the elders, to look after the young individuals. We talking like in the 70s, that so without going off, that's a whole nother show. But
it was war.
Yeah, right. So that's where it originally stemmed from your Hoover streets, your 60 streets. These are actually streets. These are actually neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So now let's take it back to when a lot of people from Louisiana started to migrate to California. Okay. All right, so we're in the 70s now, we're moving to the 80s, and now here we got the drug epidemic. So when the drug infiltrated the neighborhood, that's when shit went sour, and that's when the gang started divided towards one another, and then that's whenever you drop, exactly. The money is the root of all evil. Not meaning that money is evil, but it's the root, and that was the root that brought Crips and Bloods to where it is right now today.
Exactly. I just wanted to give them a little education purpose.
Yes,
what a lot of people don't know is gang banging culture from Shreveport, Louisiana. Exactly, it originated from California.
Yes, exactly.
I know the culture.
Yes, sir.
I know
because because when boys started getting heat in Cali in the 80s and 90s, they started to come back home. That's right. Exactly.
I know the history.
Exactly. That's how gangbanging got to Shreveport, Louisiana. It was family rooted, and it was family rooted. Is right. And these are these guys, they had aunties and uncles and stuff that were still in Louisiana, so you can dodge the heat out in Cali and go lay up at the crib. And they brought that lifestyle and they brought that atmosphere here, and that's why guys who's from just say a street and
the Cook Road populated with nothing but 60s.
Exactly.
The culture, the California, that people came from California, LA, the 60s.
That's
came
it.
From LA, and they
100%.
Neighborhoods.
That's right.
Our neighborhood was populated with Hoovers.
That's the same thing with Hoovers. That's exactly right. That's how you don't see.
I just wanted to give a little history.
Right, because a lot of time you have some people that's newer from Cali that come this way, and they be like, man, I don't see no 60 streets, I don't see no Hoover Street, but you understand their families, they are rooted from our region, from Shreveport, Louisiana. This where they mamas and daddies and grandparents from. They from Shreveport, and they moved to the west.
Exactly.
So there's the correlation with that.
I moved, like I said, I moved here in 96, like 95, 96. We were doing this, and that was third.
Yeah, okay, so, oh my gosh.
We was on the Cooper Road.
Yeah, you got a problem doing that on the Cooper. I understand that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's for real.
Up there playing football, and I'm doing this third.
Yeah, third. That's right.
Yep. Third ward here.
Yeah, man. It's a whole nother thing. Yeah, you gotta be careful, man. Yeah, I understand that.
Especially then.
Yes, sir.
So, you went to Bird High School.
Yeah, and see, actually, well, my schooling thing got to be kind of crazy between two parents.
Yeah.
You know, in one parent home and out the other parent home. 'Cause actually, my man, I've been to probably over about 12, 13 different schools.
Yeah.
Like every other year, I was in another school, just moving around. You know, from my dad, come back with my mother, however. But I moved to Allendale. I was at Blessed Sacrament, and then so when we first came from California, we had a little bread, right? And shit got a little tight. Mama had to send me to Pier Avenue. And and then that they changed it to George P. Hendricks. So I was there for a while, and then got in a little trouble. Moved out to Dallas for a little while and went to school there, and I was able to get a little bit of that lifestyle out there. I had a lot of Hispanic friends and got off into that culture. That was new. Just trying times, some of the stuff be revealed in a documentary about me and my mother, and just how culturally, just how challenging things was coming from, coming out the hood, then coming around people who just as poor as you are. You're not really even knowing you poor. You know what I mean? And that's funny how you say Bird, because when I got to Bird High School, my man, I got to Bird High School. I got shot when I was 14.
Speak on that.
Yeah, so got shot when I was 14. I was involved in sports, big time, and at that point, my mother felt like I gotta get this young man out of Allendale. Yeah. Because at this point, 14 years old, it's not it ain't looking good. Yeah. It's either I try to save him now, or I'm gonna lose him one way or another. And I already had a couple little brush-ins with the police at that point. It's just like that there. So not to get off. That's another long story. But so we kind of brushed that under the rug, got kind of on the straight and narrow, and then after the shooting came in, she felt like she had to move me to another environment. And when we moved over to Stonehill Highland area, so it was real quiet. And, it was different. You don't hear loud music all night. You don't hear gun shooting. You don't walk out the neighborhood and see some of the same things. So it was that was different. But saying that to say, my first week at Bird High School, that's when I knew I was poor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Cause like
it's a culture shock right there.
Right.
You
Cause
hold the fuck up.
Cause see, like in Allendale, me and my homies, I got a book of food stamps. Derek got a book of food stamps. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the same free cheese y'all got at y'all house, we making the same sandwich at our house. If we put $2-3 together, we go get a loaf of bread at the store. We gonna get $1 worth of salami. That's how it is. We all got jungle juices. You know what I'm saying? Salmon sauce. That's just how it is. So when I got a Bird, they're like, damn, this shit totally different. You know what I'm saying? I show up the Bird, starter t-shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Some Jabos, probably some J's. And I think I'm fresh. I'm killing these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm fresh. I'm fresh. I come with the next day, fresh chucks on, starch down tee. I'm clean. I'm saying, okay, these boys wearing Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, Nautica, Sea Caribbean, Valley. I'm like, man, what the fuck, so I'm hot, so I'm like, I'm feeling myself, I'm brushing up all good, I'm in high school now, I done took a gunshot wound, I'm 1400, I'm hood, I'm jumping, I'm feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? Man, nigga, man, this ghetto ass nigga, you crazy. Nigga does not pay me no attention, big dog. My gear's all toe up. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm fresh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking around like, damn.
Especially with that starter jersey.
Right, cuz. I got the starter t-shirt, like, man, I'm like getting no action from no girls at all, big dog. Like, no action. And then, so when I was telling my mother about it, telling about these clothes or whatever, I went to the mall, like, you know what I'm saying, like. Growing up in Atlanta, we just don't be. We used to go to South Park Mall to start shit and get in fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but we never was like going in dealers, looking at the fashion. You know what I'm saying? No, dude, we shop at Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean. So I didn't know anything about this type of attire. You know, so like, you know, my mama being the OG that she is. So I said, well, hey, Mom, they wearing some, you know, some this, that, or whatever. And I went to dealers, you know, with one of my partners. I was like, man, that stuff a little pricey. She said, all right, I got you covered. Yeah. So one afternoon I came in from football practice, and a guy came in. He had a couple suitcases, and he unzipped the suitcases, man, and there was so much goddamn polo more I haven't seen in my life. Polo and all this shit, Nautica, and man. So basically, I can say now the guy was a booster. Then we're gonna use the civil word for what he did. But so that's how my gear. That's how my gear game got right in Bossier. I mean, at Bird.
That's how everybody gear.
You know? So my gear game got right at Bird, and I started to get a little attention, you know. And that's kind of one of my stories. I always speak about Bird High School, because that is a school that it was a money-riddle school. I say that.
Being on the subject of struggle, how much that influenced your life, the struggle, going through the struggle, knowing the struggle?
Well, it made me appreciate where I'm at right now, especially today, because like I tell my kids all the time, it's the fact that knowing. When you, especially like when you're on in your own business, you're not going to get a direct deposit on Friday. No. Okay, but you got those who on your staff. You got to make sure they get a direct deposit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go out and create a job to generate revenue to put your business in a position of successful, and also you got those who are around you. Their families are eating off of things that you're structuring at the same time. Exactly. So I learned all of these things growing up in the ghetto. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand why my mother worked 2 jobs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I understand now. Yeah. You know? So and the same as my father. Now a lot of things with my father is my father would always go out and get good damn jobs, but he never would keep them long. And a long story short, we didn't find out till later on in life that he was struggling with PTSD from being in the military. But like my father, remember a lot of times we spent in Opelousas, Louisiana, where he was from, and that's all we did was work all the time. And that was totally different from being in Allendale. Yeah. Because going to Opelousas, I'm pushing a lawnmower, I'm painting houses. You know, we going and starting. We starting the gardens. So, you know, I'm making $5 and $10 or whatever like that, but I'm not knowing that, okay, this is work and this is real life.
It's teaching you the value of work. It's teaching you to appreciate
and that's what my father was instilling in me at that time.
That's what great men instilled in you.
Right, 100. Appreciate that, my man.
And I'm so proud to see you here with your son today.
That's the big homie.
You know, I'm so proud to see you here with him.
Yeah, we was just having a conversation on the way over here, you know, like, because we actually kind of got derailed off of the music in 2011 after I got released from Universal Records. That took some time.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let's go back.
Okay.
Let's go back.
Keep going.
Let's go. Go ahead. Yeah.
We're gonna come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
We're gonna come back to the Universal thing. Keep going there.
Okay. But see, we I was telling my son that we kind of got derailed because we got off into this youth football. And it was something that he had a passion for, so I just committed all the way in. I went back to my old sports rules growing up, and I just 100% put my everything into the youth football. And I did the same thing that my coaches did. They came to the hood, they got all the little homies, paid for all the equipment, fed us, everything. And the same thing Coach Gullo instilled in me, I did the same thing. So we went, and so now we got, 6 guys playing D1 ball.
Look at it.
Possibly 2 of them going to the pros. We got, we got a total about 11 different players in school right now.
Man. I see you. I see you. I be checking them out.
Yeah, man. So that's a lot of people don't understand. Like, we took a break from the music for a certain. It wasn't something that I set out and said I'm gonna put the music and acting to the side. It's just that family came to priority at that point, and then we started a trucking business. So a lot of time was just in the family, with the sports, and when you start coaching youth football, you take on 20 plus other families, and all those relationships, and you talking about young kids, so I'm throughout the day, I'm talking to teachers, I'm talking to mothers, I'm talking to fathers, I'm talking to families who having a fallout. The daddy want to take the kid, put him in another school. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on when you're dealing with in youth sports. So that's kind of basically I was talking to my son. We're now, we're past that chapter, and we reap the benefits and success for that by getting so many kids into college. So now we back at the in the music and entertainment now. We're gonna focus in on that a little harder now.
Man, hats off right now to most for taking our time with the youth, man.
I should just
Coach Yockie in the building. Coach Yockie Joe in the building. Yeah, that's wonderful, dog. That's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? So
back to the Universal.
Back to that. I thought it was Def Jam though.
No, my man, it was.
So how did it come about though? That's what I want to know. How did that?
Man, how much time y'all got, man?
How did you get into this music deep as you got into it? How did you get into the music like that? What was the breaking point? And you say, okay, I'm finna get in this music business. I'm finna go ham on this.
Okay.
What age and when did that transpire? How did that come about?
A lot of things. Someone's like I go for speaking about being and hear about your father instilling things into you. My father, when I was young, I got so many pictures young with keyboards and guitars and microphones and so I always thought that I was actually gonna play an instrument. So eventually I started playing the drums. So I was a percussionist for a minute. And just by moving around back and forth, I never really got a chance to really lock in on one instrument. Just going back and forth with my parents. But percussion, being in the drum, that was something that I can always pick up on real easy versus playing the trumpet or any other instrument. So that's where it stemmed from. My parents, in the house, listening into your Earth, Wind and Fires, and listening, to your Stevie Wonders, your Marvin Gaye's. That's where the sound came from first, So the rapping, that was something totally different. Now, what drew me to hip hop was growing up in Allendale at the time. A lot of people was calling it gangster rap, but to me, I always taught it reality rap because you walk off your porch in the ghetto, that's what you see. So it was so easy to listen to what these boys rapping about, and it's like, okay, damn, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when I hear Cube and when I hear your Spice Ones and when I hear your E40s, I'm going back a little bit. When I hear these boys talking, I'm not looking at them like, oh, that's such and such. It's like that's just like a nigga around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Because what they talking about, that's what I see every day. So I believe like that's what kind of drew me into the hip hop side. Because the language and the conversation and then the lifestyle we was living at that time, and then we growing up in the gambling era. Yes, sir. So that's kind of what drew me into that.
So was it the mixtape? Was it a mixtape or the single? What catapulted you to that next level where Universal Records says, okay, I want to sign this guy? Okay, all right, let's
cut that chase. Okay. So we're looking at right now. We're at 2003, 2004.
Okay.
All right. So we have been on the independent grind now for a couple years. Myself and my homeboy Ehab. That's one of my homies from LA that I met. His family moved to Louisiana, so then we started the record company, Go Get a Records.
Go Get a Records.
Yes. So we started Go Get a Records now. So man, we mixtaping out the game right now. So we touring with ESG and Slim Thug. I signed on with a management team, Hollywood Music, in New York, and they started moving the music around. Okay. So we started the Generation Sound up on the East Coast, actually.
Okay.
And I would always hear that being from Shreveport, you can't blow up in Shreveport. You got to get out of Shreveport. Now I always
you got to travel and move.
Yeah, So I would sometimes take offense to that. So I was like, ain't nobody else more ghetto, more gangster than ours. Ain't nothing no realer than what we living right here.
Yeah.
But what I had to understand is that these people in these other markets, they do this shit as a business. You know what I'm saying? In Shreveport, maybe we just, our people, they get up, they go to work, they make their money, they go back home. But there are no record labels here. There are no recording studios of the magnitude. So that's what I understand. Okay, you just got to start getting out. So, man, we just started investing our own money on flights, for whether it's renting the rap vehicles, whether getting the tour buses, and just start moving around with the mixtape records. So, at that point, management in New York, they had a avenue in with a couple of people at Interscope, Def Jam, and Universal. So basically how this was at this point, they'll have several music execs that will be in they will have these little luncheons. And whatever music that was hot for certain regions, and this is at this time how they would go by, pulling in new artists. Whatever music was hot at that time, they all would just sit in a room and just collaborate and just listen to different music. And they would have some of your premier DJs at the time. Clue was actually the you remember DJ Clue with Def Jam and Rockefeller. Yeah. So he was he was a big component. He was on a record real hard, and a couple other DJs. So they was really touching music that was hot. Cause the South, we had the game at that point. Yeah. So the record was playing in there at that luncheon, and there was a rep from Def Jam, Universal, and Interscope that was interested. Yeah. And they were talking to the management. So at that point, I had already been flying back and forth, going to Atlantic. We was talking real heavy. Yeah. And just short story, man. Yeah. What really tripped me out, being in New York at Atlantic, about 45th or 46th floor, looking down the building and looking at all these little bitty yellow cabs. You know what I'm saying? This little young cab from Shore. I'm like, man, this really it. I'm looking at all the T.I. plaques, the Fat Joe plaques, looking at all these plaques on the wall, and I thought, like, man, I'm really about to get signed. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you really made it. You didn't reach that pinnacle. Yeah. But unfortunately, the deal didn't go through. So after that point, flew home, and then I got kind of discouraged. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna take it y'all. I'm just gonna go independent. We're gonna press this thing up, and we're gonna drop it independently. So that's when we gotta start getting calls from Universal, and at that time, I said, well, look, I'm gonna get back with y'all. We're gonna drop this thing independent, and we'll see what it do, and we'll holler back.
Oh, wow. So, that's a bold ass fucking move.
Yeah, man.
That's a bold move.
Because already put you in the face.
Yeah, man.
So hey, I'm gonna holler back at y'all.
Yeah, that's what we did, man. I can't think of the distribution company right now. It was out of Memphis. That's what we were gonna go with. So this Eddie O'Loughlin, who's responsible for Salt and Pepper and a lot of other artists, he was at Next Plateau, and he had a distribution deal with Universal. We was at Universal Motown. So one day I got this number, and he called a couple times. So I ended up calling him back, and it's like, young man, I know what you're going through right now. I know the grind, and obviously you're never just gonna go 2-3 different label meetings and walk out with a deal. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. He said we're ready to offer you right now a 5-album deal. So I said, well, I don't have other. I said, my man, I'm really coned in right now on dropping this album independent. I want to do over 100,000-200,000 units and then come back to the table. I just would like to have more leverage at this time. So he said, okay. He said, well, I want to propose some things to you all, and I get back with you. So
can you talk about the nature of that deal?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, 100%. I was and so I'm like, and this is where I know that it got kind of serious. So his people hit our people up, which was my partners, Steele Lewis and EHOP, my management team. Yeah. So they said, okay, well, we want to present y'all with an offer, and we can afford it to your attorney. So we're like, okay, cool, we get back with you. So at this point, I go to my attorney. I go to when I got a charge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He already got a retainer on deck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So So I said, look, my man, I got people up in New York, Universal Motown. They don't want to shoot me a D. He said, look, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, my man. You need an attorney that's gonna hit you for about $500 an hour. You need an entertainment attorney. He said, me being your dog, bro, I ain't even about to try to mess over you like that, my man. I'm telling you what you need in your life, because they about to send something you ain't going to be able to comprehend. I ain't either. He said, he said, I'm a defense attorney. I'm not an entertainment attorney. So I said, okay, my man. So I got back with my people in New York, and they went out and got Charles Austin, and he also referred me to another big dog attorney who had represented DMX, Mariah Carey, several other artists, man. So many different names. So that Mark Schwartz, he's a real big dog. He make it happen. So they put me in contact with Mark Schwartz. So this is how it is when you're dealing with labels like that. The label head and their attorney, they're not talking to the artist. Okay, everything is negotiated through the attorneys. So they shot him their first offer, and so I'm thinking that, all right, I'm about to fly out to New York. We're going to look at the deal. I'm going to sign at the table. And that's not how it went. So when he got the first offer, he took it to my management and said, okay, well, we're about to shoot you the offer. I said, okay, fine. So when I got it in the email, and that's when emails just becoming popular, then I'm going through and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm trying to count the zeros. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to wrap my head around the type of money we're talking about right now. So it was a 5-album deal, and the total was up to like $15 million. It was so many millions per project. So at that point, that's kind of when I was like, my man, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it was the numbers, and I'm talking back and forth to Mark Schwartz, the attorney at the time, and he kind of, I was confident in how he was speaking and how he was breaking down the lingo on the contract. And then that's when ringtones and all these things were coming into play, and they weren't even trying to give me any of that money, and he tore all that contract up, went back in, and we started going off to other thing, and then that's when I found, okay, now we got a whole nother publishing deal to go through. That's a whole nother check, and it took about maybe 2 months to complete the deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But and I just tell youngsters, man, you know, when you start getting off into that avenue of the business, you got to bring in big dog attorneys. You need an attorney gonna hit you for about $500 an hour. But he gonna get his money after you get your check. Though, you know what I'm saying?
Work for as much as
yeah, man, you ain't got to come out of pocket for him. But it's real cool, you know, because now we flying up to New York on their dime, not our dime. You know what I mean? Because at first everything was out of pocket, but he brought the deal home and he made it happen, and you know, life took a whole nother turn after that.
So
that's a blessing.
I might be prying a little bit. But,
no problem.
But when you first got that check, was it what that check was like 15 minutes? What that check was?
No, man. See, that's the misconception about the record business, right?
We gotta know.
Okay, so here where it's like the first deal was for $1.5 million.
Okay.
Shit got crazy around the city now because, you know, the Times did a big write-up about Yockie Joe from Allendale signing Universal Records $1.5 million deal. So now everybody think I'm walking around with $1.5 million. Okay,
everybody literally did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Real.
So I'm like, okay, so let me break this shit down to you a little bit. Okay, so we got another $300,000. That's just gonna go to the video. You know, back then video budgets was high. You know, $60,000-$70,000 to shoot a video. Okay, you got another $200,000 for promotion. Okay, then you got your traveling expenses. Then you got those fees. I tell you, Mark Schwartz, we owe him about 20 racks. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now I gotta go record. So I got about $750,000 to go record an album. And then, you know, production was high. Okay, so we talking production. We looking at, you know, on a minimum $30,000 a track. All right, so you looking at, you trying to go to Atlanta, you trying to get a tune track, or you even at that point you thinking about getting a Timberland track. You looking at $100 grand for a track. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think about trying to call Dre. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I did 1.5. Yeah, man, this is crazy, bro. So I did $1.5 million. So all these flights we flying up there. So now we going to Circle House Studio. We going to the Hit Factory. You know, we got a $2,500 studio bill here, another $3,500 studio bill there. All these monies is coming out of this $1.5 million. Okay, so after you record your album and all the budgets are set aside, whatever is left, then that's what's owed to you. Okay, now you're not gonna get $1 until they recruit. After you get that was what's left. But you're not going to get any residual from your sales until after they get that. Is right, till they make the money back. So, but to the number though, when I walked after everything was in place, I think I walked away with about maybe $125 About 130, 150, something like that, just cash in my
Reality
pocket.
Of the game.
Yeah. Out of the 1.5 million, I went to the house with about $125,000. You know what I'm saying? And then at that time, that life we was in, that really, that was just some tennis shoe money. So, but yeah, that's how that happened.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
that's freaking dope, man.
Yeah, crazy business.
I recall we did some stuff, man. We didn't caught the bus, man. We didn't get on.
Man.
And that's on the grind shit though.
That's the reality.
Pull up to the place tomorrow.
Yeah, my man. Like that when on that end, Wax. That was on the reality after the label.
Yeah, we
did.
You
know what I'm saying? So, but I still was strong and hungry in the mind. So it was by any means make it happen. And I met I'm telling we not talking about the tour bus.
Yeah.
Like we talking about artists. Yeah, we ride in $200,000-$300,000 Prevosts. Now me and this guy here, we was on the Greyhound bus. So like I'm
real.
Bro. We got we were going to what music festival that was?
Ozone Awards.
Okay, so we got the Ozone Awards, right?
Yeah.
All right, so at that we was going down and I had a Suburban with the promotional rap on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, 100%, man, we pulled out the driveway and the damn fuel pump go out in the Suburban.
Yeah.
Dead out.
Yeah.
All right. That night we had 2 radio interviews down there at the Hilton.
Yeah.
My man, wasn't no time to book no flights, wasn't no none of that shit.
Yeah.
Man, take me to Greyhound, bro.
Yeah.
I'm out of here, my man.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm gone, bro. Drop me off at the bus station, bro. So my people drop me off at the bus station. I get on a bus, and the Lord, man, it's amazing how the Lord work, bro. He always got a ram in the bush with you, bro. Man, when I seen this man right here on the same damn Greyhound bus, bro, we on our way to Houston, right? Going to the Ozone Awards, my man. You do not know, bro, how that warmed my spirit, my man. I wasn't tripping about nobody seeing no Yockie Joe, no Greyhound bus. I didn't give a damn about none of that. My nigga Wax on that bitch. Now we on our way to Houston. 100%, bro. That pride shit, bro, you gotta throw that out the way, dog.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome event right
now.
now.
Knowing Wax for that long, I mean, what's one of your Wax stories, man? We have to hear
crazy.
Wax stories, man.
Crazy.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Look. Watch.
We want to see when the face go. Oh my gosh.
Hold up. Watch this shit here, my man.
Hold up.
No, let me Wax mic out.
No, man. Let me share something with you about business. Okay.
Yeah.
And about the structure of business and blueprints on business. Now, where I'm at right now, like I've been able to take the same blueprint from the music industry and filter it throughout all of my other businesses. Yeah. It's the exact same blueprint. Yeah. And it's no fumbles. It's 100%, right?
Yeah.
So I seen Wax coming up, a marketing and promotion, the Cumulus.
Yeah.
Being the man, being the go-to guy at the station.
Yeah.
All right. So
first black promotions director. For
yes.
Cumulus.
So
5 radio stations under my
he was heavy. So I remember. So I remember like at Universal, we coming through and we're like, okay, well, our promotion team. What your promotion team look like? And that's why I remember I actually first met him. I was like, okay, so I'm like, we just came from LA and they got like 30, 60 people on staff, and like I'm like one guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, y'all got one dude doing all this right here, and it's like the dude like multi-talented, and I mean like people coming up to him asking him for advice and questions, things like that. Like, this man solid about what he do. Yeah. So we started a relationship from there, and I always admired his hustle and his grind throughout the street. He was real diligent what he did, and then whenever, like for all his promotional campaigns, there was always detail. There was always a lot of paraphernalia, a lot of branding. Yeah. That was key. Yeah. So the craziest which I want to hear is after my man left, Cumulus, I'm in the crib chilling one day, and this after I done left Universal, I'm off into the acting right now. Right, I'm actually was going over some scripts, and this man called me, and he said, "Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, my man?" I'm like, "Wax, what's up, man? See you in Houston, what's good?"
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, we about to go do some music or whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So he said, "Look, man, I got opportunity with these people out of Atlanta, and that's just real. It's a heavy promotional project I'm working on right now. You know, and I think it's pretty lucrative. We can make some money out of doing this thing. And I value your expertise in marketing and promotion. I'm like, but man, that's the man. I got the blueprint from you, and I just added a little bit to what I do. He said, so we're gonna get out here, and we're gonna start. They're gonna give us all the merch we need, all promotions. Something like that. So I'm saying, man, so we ain't gotta get no posters, no CDs, no none of that. Nah, man, they paying for everything, my man. I said, what? I said, damn. I said, so what we need to do? All we need to do, we gonna go set up and just get our grind on like we do. So I'm thinking, we're gonna hit the clubs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna party. We're gonna move around city to city, get the product out and all like that. So I'll say, cool, all right, man. So I say, well, man, who the artist is, my man? You heard them, right? Who? He got some people behind him with some major bread in Atlanta. Who the artist is? He say, well, y'all, let me explain to you. We
know what this is.
There you go. There you go.
We know what this is.
I understand. There you go to swap.
I said, man, what you mean? Well, I said, well, what you mean? There ain't no artist? What you saying? You say we gonna promote some shit, right? Somebody. Yeah, my man. Well, see, actually, here it is, y'all. I got these people, man, and they some real good people. I said, I heard that, my man. What's up? I said, we gonna get that bread? Like, yeah, we gonna get this bread.
We finna get this bread.
So, actually, what we're trying to do is we need to promote spade and neutering. So my face. Like, Wax, what the fuck you trying to say? So, Wax, what the fuck? What you talking about, man? Spade and neutering. What you talking about promoting? Well, see, and then I swear, it's like somebody passed the phone and gave the phone to another motherfucker. Cause I started hearing this shit right here. Well, see, Yockie, if you don't know the statistics about there's an overpopulation of animals who are being abused due to the fact that they don't have a home.
Incredible.
Yeah, and then he started breaking down the numbers of how many stray cats and dogs are in the street or in the Arklatex. And what we need to do is we need to come together and we need to educate the African American community about spade and neutering their pets.
Yep.
So I said, my man, I don't know shit about no damn. I said that shit just like I said, bro. I don't know nothing about none of that shit, my man. I said, bro. I said, my man. I said, I don't know, man. I'm probably had to hit you back on that one, big dog. Like, man, I said, I don't know about that shit, man. So he said, Yock. Yeah, Yock, I said, I'm gonna see, my man. So I kind of threw him in the bush. I like, well, when you need this to do that, man, I might, I'm just acting shit right now, man. I don't really know. And I said, okay, my man, I'm gonna get back with you. And you know, at Wax, he's persistent.
Yeah.
So he hollered back. He said, Yock, man, you have time to think about it, man. He said, bro, we're only gonna use a couple hours out of your time, my man.
Yeah,
it's something that we need to bring to the community.
Yeah.
And this give you. Then he hit me with the sell pitch, my man. Then you've been chilling for a minute. This give you opportunity to come back out, show your face in the hood, my man.
There you go. I swear to God, he keep one up the sleeve. He keep one up the sleeve.
I'm like, man,
it's clutch too.
So then he hit me, said, man, Yock, 100%. I value your time and your money.
Yeah.
So my man, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna get paid.
Yeah,
you're gonna be straight.
Paid good.
You ain't coming out of your pocket for nothing.
Yeah.
I said, all right, Wax, what's up, man? I said, let's try it.
Yeah.
So I remember the first event. I was sold on the first one because I was just most impressed with the business presentation.
Yeah.
Because it was a clone, and what I mean by using the same blueprint.
Yes.
These people that he was doing business with in Atlanta, they ain't know our region, they ain't know our market.
No,
they didn't even know how to even put a promotional package together.
Nope.
So when I got there and I just started seeing all of the merch, it was definitely a Adrian Turner production, my man. 100%, my man.
Yeah.
So I said, damn, my man, you bought your business, my man. Yeah. And I mean, like, dude, I mean, like, it was right. I was very impressed, and I was locked in with him from that point right there, And actually, to his point, I was right. When we started getting out in the community, man, we started making a lot of different connections. It was all about spade and neutering pets, but all of the other traffic that came with that.
True, man.
You know, and it really evolved into something else, my
I
man.
can't believe that. This West
though.
Coast.
The
Nah,
man,
yeah.
the Humane Society, man, the United States of America, man. You know, promoting spade and neuter, dude. It was some serious stuff, man.
It is though.
It
really is though.
You know, because it was so many stray cats to this day. The Robinson Center,
It still is.
Robinson Center, man. They are booked out because of
Right.
that promotion we did.
Yes, and see that's another man.
And that was years ago.
Bruh.
To this day, they are still you have to schedule an appointment to get your pet spayed and neutered. And before that, it was nothing. Nobody was coming.
Yeah.
And see,
we did a 3-month promotion.
Yeah, man. And see, that's another. Exactly, my man. That's what I'm about to tell him. Youngster, like, bro, that's on the other. We wear the fresh clothes. We talk about them in our songs. We drive all their cars. We don't get no. We don't get no kickback on that. Say, my man, you need to holler at them people, bro. Hey, the man, I'll get a check it, dog, because you really shine the light on them big time, my man.
No, you really did, though.
But I got 10 out of it. They gave me 10 grand for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, no, right. He compensated, bro. I mean, everything.
Way a million.
That was nice little bit.
That's one thing you know about West though. He say he got a plan. He got a plan.
Yeah, and you know, his how he sold himself to this company in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I knew it was solid because they spared money was of no expense to them. Nah, however, at any time.
Whatever I said, go.
Whenever he said it, and then whatever he asked for, he was diligent with their funds. You know what I mean? And you saw that through how we was in the community. So you know, 100.
It was light work though, brother. That was
it was.
My man changed the spade
and
neutering game.
2 hours a day.
Changed
we ain't doing
the
2
game.
hours a day. So we ain't out there long.
No.
We ain't out there long.
And then he could take that same blueprint. You know, if any one of your business ventures that you are gonna have now or in the future, and you tell him what you're trying to do, and the same thing, and he'll sell it at 100%.
But we get ready to bring some stuff to the light too. But we're gonna get into that too in just a second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Speak on that acting career.
Okay, well, see
you know
that.
what I'm saying? I saw you.
Shakespearean.
I saw you. On New Jack Streetport.
Oh yeah.
Streetport.
It's a lot. See, it's a lot.
Out.
It's a lot of. You know, man. I want to apologize. There's so much material that I could have right now on YouTube, and it's very limited. But I've just been you know, sometimes you just over criticize. But you know, my family and my management have got me to the point where that was how I was saying earlier. You know, we about to release all of it. You know, so it'd be hours of a lot more content about to drop. But actually, I got off into the acting when I started having the riff raff with Universal. Okay, so make a long story short, okay, when I got signed, record companies were folding. All right, because what was you then had here? I'm holding up a pen, but it was your CD. Okay, it was your $10. This was the commodity that labels were using to make money. Okay, that's exactly, my man. Okay. So when it went from you going in the Best Buy spending your $10 to where you at the barbershop and somebody coming through with the exact same identical CD. And not only are they giving you one, they're giving you 3 of them for $5. You know what I'm saying? So why am I running? So it's like the consumer, speaking from a consumer mind, why am I running in the store buying some shit for 10? I get 3 for 5. And then it went down to $2. And then you got the $1 CD band. Now you got the dollar. You got the dollar CD lady.
So in other words, when you were in your deal, it was the turning point in the music.
Exactly,
and that was the turning point. It was turning from CDs to digital.
Exactly, and that's why I never made it to the second contract. I ended up being moved from Universal Motown to Universal Republic, and once I got out of Universal Republic, then that's when that label wanted to use my talent, but not wanted to use my intellect and what I knew of the business. So they were shifting me to work with different producers and record different type of songs. It's songs that I had never even performed at shows that mostly just was marketed on the East Coast because there was that type of production, that type of sound. So, you know, I was compensated. I was paid, however, but there were one songs that I marketed and promoted. So when you moved over to Universal Republic, that's when I never released the album over there. Okay. And at that point, that's when I got off into the acting. So, but I only got off into acting behind the music. I was going to different auditions and things to get on set so I could shop for the soundtrack. So I'm going on these sets, meeting these actors. Meeting these directors and casting agents, and just to get bumps and shoulders and get some context on how to shop some music, or either get the script and I can write the song, tailor a song to your script. Well, the only way able to do that was to act. So I was riding around in this Yockie Joe Suburban.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
And so there was an agent, Jeffrey Nightbird, who was here from Austin, Texas, and he was lost. He asked for direction. I gave him direction. He's like, "Hey man, look, I'm here. I got an agency. I'm looking for some actors." I said, "Well, man, I don't act. I do music, big dog." He's like, "Well, you need to come through, man. Talk to me. You got a nice look. Maybe we could work something out." So I ended up, wasn't stubborn. I met with him, started taking classes, and he started sending me on auditions. And it started from that point. And I started getting a lot of reads. And every time I got on set, I just started shopping music and shopping the idea for music. And the thing about it is, and when you're doing soundtracks, if you write a soundtrack and if they take it into post-production, you're still going to get a check. It may not even make the score, but if it go into editing, they owe you a check. So I was able to get a lot of checks like that. Yeah.
Dope shit right there.
Yeah. So and that was
that knowledge right there.
Yeah, man. So my man. So at that point, I wasn't making no music money, but I was able to just reinvent the wheel, so to speak, and jump in on the acting. And that was just due to film industry came to our market due to Hurricane Katrina. So there was so much film project around Shreveport, Louisiana. So then I started acting, and then started doing a lot of independent film, and I started to have a passion for acting. And I mean, honestly, right now, I like to go to the studio to record. Like you like to just go shoot ball and work out, because I love being. I love hanging out with other artists, picking y'all brain and just running like that. But for us getting a check, I would rather act than versus produce a record. And then
there's no money in that acting.
And then with the music, with the acting, it's more of have to, for it's financial on the business end, you're not upfronting so much of your own purse. With the music, it's a lot of salesmanship into that. So
that's good business, man. Right on. That's good business, man. That's good to know right out here. Man, this Lunch and Blunt show, man. And I mean,
Lunch and Blunt, it's really good. Smelling right in here right now. Boy, it got some expensive.
It's
got
that. We got lunch too provided by Liquor Skillet. So we got some smothered, rice and gravy.
Okay, that's what's up.
Little chicken and stuff. So make sure you grab a plate.
100% will do. Good looking.
You know what I'm saying? Man, it's been so awesome. Few more questions for you.
Yeah, man, no problem, my man. Good looking, having a good time, man.
Biggest celebrity you work with?
Biggest celebrity that I've worked with thus far. I'm gonna say the biggest.
Why? You enjoy it.
Yeah. Best. Yes. Enjoy it.
Some people you don't like. So you don't care. So you don't even care to talk about it, right?
Real shit though.
Okay.
Real shit though.
Okay. It would be, man, there is a couple. But one, I would say Denzel Washington.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Was that on the act?
Yes, sir. That was in Great Debaters. Okay.
Whoa.
Yes.
Like what that was like.
Man, and see, and was honestly, it's like because
I wasn't expecting that though.
Yeah. Well, see, honestly, and it's like my that was my greatest moment, but. And that's another thing you learn in film. Okay. All the scenes don't make the movie. And my scene in the movie with him did not make the movie. You know what I mean?
Cool,
but that's all right.
Okay, yeah. But here it is though. Also, doing film, man, I had opportunity to spend 2 days in this man's presence.
Exactly.
During the scenes that I was involved in. Okay. So, man, what was so great about was just the talent. Like, I know him as the Denzel Washington, the movie star, and all like that. But he directed it, right? So I'm seeing him run around, little wrinkle beat up t-shirts and little shorts and flip flops. Right? That's the Denzel I see. He running around instructing, et cetera, et cetera. And then 30, 40 minutes later, he come back, he's suited, tied up. He's in character on the set. boom, we go in the scene. Woo, 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 the facial expression, all the lines is to the point, boom, boom, boom. Everybody else fumbling lines, he's sharp, he on the point, boom, 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 boom. So one of the things I remember he had said to us in one of the sets, he was like, when you basically you are here because you got a talent. You're not even in this space right now. So you don't need, bring what got you here. Bring that talent, that skill set, which even got you to be in your position right now to command that role you got. That's what I need right now.
Wow.
And it's like when he said that, man, that just set the tone for the whole scene, and everybody came with their A game.
Wow.
And honestly, just there were just conversations just off set. I mean, well, on set, but off camera, just about the business, and he was just giving game because a lot of us he knew, just on the business side. When they started filming here in Louisiana, they were getting like a 20-30% cut just to film in our area. So basically, it's like if a film cost them $100 million to shoot in Los Angeles, they can come here and shoot the film for $30 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was a credit that the state was giving them companies for coming here for filming. So he knew that a lot of us was just really green, for us to support extras. So he took the time out to coach us up at the same time and give us some game.
Yeah.
So that's
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, 100%, man. So
that's wonderful. Yeah,
that's why I had to dig deep. I mean, I work with some big cats. I mean, like Dane Dash. He's one that I had opportunity to work out with for his business. He's always dropped jewels on me, for his business and marketing and managing. It's big time. Yeah. Recording.
So how was that though? With Dame?
With Dame, that was like I met Dame at the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl in Houston. And started to build a relationship with him from that point. Just running it back and forth, my man, just on business, So he's always had. Of course, Dame. He's the good arrogant is what I call him to be. Super confident, But his business acumen is second to none. Yeah, definitely. For his recording in the studio, I've recorded with some big dogs, but my favorite recording artist to be in the studio would be BG.
Wow.
And that's we recorded that record in Detroit, Michigan. A lot of people know he lived there, and he still has a home there, family there in Detroit, Michigan. And so working with BG, that was like I just saw myself riding around, listening to Chopper City. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this the little homie I was listening to when I was in school. I was in junior high school listening to BG. You know what I mean? So working with him, that was just totally different. It was a whole nother vibe.
Crazy.
Yeah, Yockie Joe and BG. I like, man, that's dude. This is cash money. This not the cash money y'all know now. We talking about there's a whole nother cash money. Yeah, man. So like being, there's some
still a wild kid.
Oh yeah, my man. So like there's some other artists I work with that may have had other different types of careers, or however are more popular being just because of pop culture, or however. But BG though, that's the homie right there. Recording and working in the studio with him, that's a plus.
That's dope.
Yeah,
man. That's great. Yeah. So. Brother?
Oh no, go ahead, do your thing.
Oh man, we
rambling, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the lunch and blunt show.
Man, look at him, man. It's going in.
It's whatever. Off limits, man. Whatever y'all.
Joe is just. I mean, he is delivering it today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's just delivering it. He's just delivering the game today.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of it. I mean, one notably, I would think that in this entertainment business, in this music business, at no point do you ever have to doubt yourself. I learned that early because when you cut the radio on, somebody on there singing or dancing. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, they were right where you were, or even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know that. You know what I mean? Because, bruh, some of the stuff we did in business, my man, a lot of people didn't see us reaching them pinnacles. You know what I mean? Like my man, first recording studio I've recorded, and we recorded off a 4-track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, my man. So to be so like in some DJ Pole, I think his name was. We was in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Bedroom studio with a 4-track and a couple speakers to actually, fly into Miami, booking recording studios in Circle House at, $1,200 a session. You know what I'm saying? It's just, so that's why I say, like, man, whatever your dream is, your desire in this business, whether it be acting, but nobody, like how we said in the first conversation, you definitely have to put yourself in position to be successful. So, you know, of course, the internet gives us that vehicle to where you don't necessarily have to travel the ground as much, but you got to go where the people are doing where you're trying, wherever you're trying to get. You got to be in company with those people. Exactly. That's a plus.
And don't be scared to build relationships.
No, not at all, my man. You know, a lot of times people are just genuine, man.
Yeah, in the city locally, man, we got to build relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, plus that.
Build relationships.
So, what was another thing? What was the craziest thing? I know you got the little man here with you today.
Okay.
But what was the craziest, wildest thing? Because I know you did some tours.
Oh man, yeah.
So let's talk about tour life.
Okay.
Just a little bit. We don't want to expose too much, you know.
Okay, it's all good.
But you know, we just want to talk about tour life a little.
Well, okay. Let me explain to you about tour life, right? So, my gosh, my first tour was what we call a chilling circuit tour. Okay, y'all familiar?
I heard of that.
Okay, so okay. So that was my first tour. Was on the chilling circuit. Okay. So the chilling circuit tour is you're going through a lot of small cities, a lot of small towns, you know, small little radio stations.
Yeah.
You're staying in the 2-star hotels, 3-star if good. You know what I mean? Normally you're traveling in your SUVs. Okay, but what was so great about the chilling surface is that, you know, you're getting the greatest hospitality that you ever gonna get in your time in the music business, because a lot of times when you come through some of these smaller cities, you know, where the population is 5,000, you know, or 10,000 or 20,000, and you coming through, you at some of these backwoods shows where you rapping on these mics to where you can't talk the next morning because your voice is so, but just I would say the experience with the people you meet, my man, they're so humble and they're so gracious, you know. And one thing I learned from ESG, especially on the chilling circuit, so we got a show booked for $5,500, all right, but we may leave there with maybe 15, close to 20,000, because that night, okay, you got dope boys in the city. They lined up with money to go to the studio to get a verse, to get a hook. You know what I'm saying? And it's like so. And there's another piece of game I learned from ESG. He was like, one cat came to him and he wanted a verse, and I don't remember exactly what the price was. G had hit him with, and he's like, me and my dog Yockie, we're gonna get on there. And I'm like, man, you gonna throw me yours? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. So like we out here eating together. So he bring me in. So he like, it's gonna be XYZ. So dude, like, well, I remember the motto was like, well, I only got this with G. Like, my man, I ain't gonna get it, but this is what you need to do, man. You need to go get a couple of your homeboys and tell them, do they want to get on the song with Yockie Joe? They want to get on the song with ESG. Tell them to put some money in. Y'all put the money in. Come on, let's make something shake. I was like, my man, dude, we did that. And he got 2 other cats that wanted to get on the song too. And I believe they had like split the verse, and me and G dropped the verse, and then I started picking up that game, and I started implementing that in every city we would go to. And it's like, so we would get the show money, and there was also other money. Ain't no $25 pictures and none of that. We skipping over all that. We going straight to the studio.
Well, listen at the grind.
You know what I'm saying? And so like so we getting money now. You know, even off of my producer Ehab, dog, he meeting relationships and he's selling tracks just off these cities we going to. So that was so like the chilling circuit. It was that's one thing I learned to appreciate behind that. You know, because when you go to a lot of the big cities, you know, we showing up at these shows, and there's a lot of these boys here. They pockets is just like ours. You know what I'm saying? So they showing up at the club just mostly to buy a bunch of bottles and to show off, and they not necessarily about doing no business with us. You know what I'm saying? But in the smaller cities, you know, you go through your Lake Charles, your Beaumont, Texas, you know what I'm saying? Your Marshall, Texas, you know, your Longviews, you know what I mean? Your Little Rock, Arkansas, you know, you coming through all these spots right there, man. The hospitality is always it's always great. So, and then like when it got a little major, and, you know, moved up to the tour buses and flying more, that actually, my man, it got to be kind of boring because it was so structured. You do the same thing. It's repetitive. You show up in your city, check in the hotel, you go do sound check, you may do a little radio, you go to the mall, you go back to the room. You know, and then you just doing the same thing. You know, and that's kind of how life was. Especially on the bus. You doing 30 cities on the bus, my man. After about 10 cities, bruh, it get rough. You know, you got your team with you. They got family calling from home. They got issues. People gotta leave. All people gotta come back. You got money situations going on, bro. You got promoters with foolishness going on the road. It get to be a little. They are a lot of them. For real, shot big time. So like you know, but all in all though, you know, you get to what I would say about on a major end when it comes to touring. Your network gets a lot stronger though, because you're backstage and you're meeting a whole lot of different people. You contact, you know, when you come out to it, man, you've met so many people from, you know, videographers, people do artwork, you meeting a lot of different model agencies. You know, you've meeting whatever type of woman you ever desire to have in your life, however you visualize her, you can have that. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 or 3 of them. Exactly. You know what I mean? So on the corporate end. I mean, well, I would say like on the major label end for us touring, that was that. But definitely, I would always I would more like the chilling circuit over the more personal. It's very more personal. Yeah, you know, definitely.
Yeah, I did that too though.
So let me ask you, because now you're an on-air personality.
Yes.
The big station.
The radio.
Kmjj 99.6.
Yes, sir. Okay, and that goes back to this bus ride when we went to Houston.
To the Ozone?
Yes, to the Ozone. Because I was talking to Wax about, man, how can I get on the radio?
I was at the radio station at the
Yes.
time, wasn't it?
Yes. So, you know, you will give me some tips on who I need to speak with. He's like, man, you might need to get with Josie Wells. And me and Josie had put a lot of time in the mixtape game. Actually, 100 to Josie, because he and I recorded my very first mixtape with Josie Wells. You know, this is before even getting signed.
Yeah.
So, you know, he brought me into that into that market. Yeah. So, coming into radio, it was different because I had a boss. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I've been a boss. But what it did was it taught me structure. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I learned how to I didn't look at it as like I gotta do what somebody else say do. I looked at it as like, let me learn what I don't know. So let me look at this boss as being a tool, as a teacher and a mentor to me. Yeah. So I started getting with like minds around the station, and different PDs at that time was coming in and out of Kmjj. Man, we went through a slew of PDs up until the greatest PD I think ever to do it right now, Mr. Big Ant Simmons. So
shout out to
Ant. 100%. So I just started, all those PDs was coming through. I just started getting up on them and just started learning. You know, just learning the business and you know, and perfecting my craft.
But you know, a few years from now, I mean, could it be PD, Yockie Joe?
Well, actually, my man, I've had a couple opportunities to go to some smaller markets, because that's how you start off in radio. You know, you go to a city of a chilling circuit, you know, man, and you start off at radio. But what I had going on with my family at the time, it just wasn't the right move for me to do. So I kind of, you know, I passed that opportunity up, and I'm just really honing in on my craft right now in the position that I'm at. You know, and I'm cool with it. And my PD now, you know, he gives me the opportunity to just have free reign. You know, as long as them commercials get paid and everybody else get paid. You know, for us the business end of radio, I'm taking care of my business. I don't miss no commercials.
There we go.
And we ain't fooling around with no airtime. Everything is business. And my PD makes sure I can let my personality be who it need to be.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful, man. That's awesome.
So, but definitely what I want to do more with radio now, just be more community. You know, and we have that opportunity now, and we definitely want to get out, just be more community. There's some things I want to do, a couple ideas that I'm bringing to the table next month when we have our quarterly meeting, and just looking forward to it. It's gonna be nice, man. A lot of music and a lot of community. That's definitely what we bring in. And so much like my man, like how you know, like in Houston, my man, like right now, I'm not lying, bro. We can go to Houston, and within an hour, within 45 minutes, you're gonna hear a recording artist from Houston.
Exactly.
Still to this day, especially the mix shows. for whether the artist came out in 80 or he came out in 2018,
you gonna hear it.
Houston have always supported their culture, their brand, and their music.
Exactly.
And that is something that I want to bring to our area. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even all about the airtime and all like that, bro. If we out here and we visible with our people, I've always wanted to adapt that from Houston. That's something that's a blueprint that I wanted our city to share. Because Houston, they don't give a damn about what's going on in California, in New York, in Georgia. Houston never cared, dude.
That's what we feel like going on here.
Right.
It's all about, we care about what's going on everywhere else.
Yes, sir.
Except
what's going on here.
That's right. And that's something I want to be a part of, building that bridge, my man. Yeah, definitely want to get heavy in that.
We're going to get with you off air on some stuff, too. We got some stuff in the making. I'm not going to put it out just yet.
That's all good.
You putting it out there without putting it out there.
Yeah,
it's all good.
We got some stuff in the making I want to pick your brain on about, too. Before you leave today. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, again, brother, thank you.
Yeah, man, thanks for the opportunity, my man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, for stopping by. Thank you, young man, for stopping through with your father.
Hey, what's up, man? You want
to us with your presence?
So, my man, tell them about your new. Just shot real quick.
Graham or something.
Yeah.
What school you at? Evangelism.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Graduated. Okay.
So, but he's
Okay.
So he's starting another career right now. Tell him Hollywood, what you about to start doing, my man?
Yeah, come on in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is sick right now. I'm sorry. He pointed, but yeah, he's starting modeling now.
Okay.
So he's got off into that, and him and my nephew MC, the one you see, he's starting he's a comedian. So he's going. He's in the process of building a YouTube channel right now, and we also, and my younger daughter, London, she has television show in progress called London's House and Friends. So they're shooting that right now. That's going to be awesome.
Hey, it'd be dope if we can get him on the show one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially, I gotta get you Yockie.
Yo, you got it. Yeah, if you get MC, get these guys in.
Lunch show that day.
That's right. Okay, that's what's up. But we very excited about that, and my oldest daughter, she has she's doing a YouTube channel now where she's doing makeup and that brush, and she's a beast with the makeup, and we looking for her to do great things in that. She's gonna be going off in Austin, Texas sometime soon. That's where a lot of the film industry is. So she's gonna be looking to do a lot of that in the film industry for its makeup, because she just got an artistic skill at doing that. So as a family right now, it's just all about, I'm just trying to just spread my knowledge and wisdom through them, and let them go out and create some checks. And we just keep the money in house. That's kind of where we at right now.
That's what it's about. That is so wonderful, bro. Hey man, that's straight mad love. It's no other way to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching them the structure. You're teaching them the value. You're teaching them how to go out and work for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up,
man.
Best
foot forward.
It's been a great ride, man.
It's wonderful.
It ain't over with.
Ain't over with. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're gonna get you back here too, man. We're gonna get you back here on the lunch.
That's what's right, my man.
Deeper,
I really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit, about the current of the business, the industry right now, and the music and all like that.
You got new mixtape coming
out. Man. We had hard at it right now, big dog. It's the right too, big dog.
Let me know when you get it ready so we come back and display it on the Lunch and Run show, right?
Man, 100, big dog.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know when you get it ready so we can come back,
I'm ready to get in the studio with y'all boys too, my man.
Oh, man, look.
We explored
I was on YouTube
and everything.
I was listening at you in the studio messing around with dude from Lafayette somewhere.
Koyo,
I was listening at the beach all right. So I said, I need to be on that beach.
Yeah, man. We try to just branch out and get a lot of different sounds, because believe it or not, like as African Americans, we just got that natural little niche. Whenever we hear a sound, it just make you move a certain kind of way. That's why everything is different about our whole culture. So when you get certain tracks from different areas, it just it brings a different thought process. It just brings a whole nother vibe. It just takes you down different avenues for your writing. So that's why I always just try to listen. We may like a lot of 808s and more of that southern issue, but when you start getting tracks from up north and on the west, you just bring it to another lane. Pretty dope.
That's what's up. Exactly. That's really dope.
Yeah, man.
Y'all money.
Yeah.
We jumping now.
Next time too, that's what I'm talking about. We gotta fill you in on the pot stocks.
Okay.
the legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
Louisiana trying to, they're getting there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Shout out for them for not being the last.
Yeah.
God damn.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
For real.
We always dead ass last. You know what I'm saying?
That was another show too.
Last to know.
Last to know.
Yeah.
Why we always
Yeah. So now we kind of, you know.
Yeah.
So.
They trying to get out that debt.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They
Big
know
business.
They see that money.
Yeah, big business.
They see that money, man. That's what it's all about.
And I would thank y'all, man. The aroma in here has been very nice. I've had a lot of flashbacks. If I fumble up on a word or two, it's because I'm getting a little drooling at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Social supplements.
man, boy, the aroma in here, I'm talking about, man. Oh my gosh. Because, there is a picture on the net with me and Snoop Dogg, and that was the first time I hung out with Snoop. Was working on a project in Atlanta. And, man, that particular night, I'm so upset because he was spitting a lot of game that night. Yeah. And I was soaking it in, and we was partying. We had a good time that night, man. But I was so damn out of it. You know what I'm saying, my man, to where it's like the next morning. Oh, my man, dude. My man, look here, man. I'm trying to find
stop smoking.
Bruh.
Make me stop smoking.
Dude, man, it's like that particular night, man. It was the next morning. I was just trying to gather the conversation of everything that we were talking about and all the ventures and all the movie stuff he was talking about doing. I was just like, damn, man, I can't remember. Fuck, what the man? Dude, my man. And well, I'll tell you this here one night though. That particular night, and I'm gonna shut it down since I get along with it. But that particular night, man, when Snoop came in the club, so people, I remember the time they said we got there early, right? So we were on there, so I'm waiting on Snoop, trying to see what Snoop coming through, and coming in the back, I see a bunch of guys coming through, bow tied up. Yeah. Bow tied up. So they walking all around. So before we went to the VIP, the dudes, the bow ties, they went all through the damn VIP, all around. So then they set up like a barrier all around. So I'm like, I'm tripped, right? Yeah. So Snoop come, boom, we go in the VIP or whatever, and there's more guys with bow ties come up.
I said, this nigga got pimps for security?
Yeah, so I'm tripping, right? I'm gonna find out it was the National of Islam.
Oh, the nation, yeah.
So Snoop, when he traveled from city to city, that's his security. Yeah. That's who he hired. And that's something that he got from Pac. Yeah. Because Pac was doing the same thing. Yeah. So that night, I was on that. We partying, but at the same time, I'm looking at the power move. That's something I never would have thought about doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm thinking about, so now I'm still when I'm thinking about, man, this man right here that shared a blunt with Pac. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This man right here that been in the studio with Pac. Yeah. So that night, so I'm like, of course, there's the atmosphere going on, but I'm juggling that vibe, and I'm looking at the nation. I'm like, bruh, it's just all women in here, no guys. It's like us 5 guys and all women. That's how it was all night. That was a special night I shared with Pac. With Snoop Dogg that night though, man. Yeah, because to see him, and that's how you do when he roll in the city, he calling the nation. And what better bodyguards is that? You know what I'm saying? Them boys are heavy too.
Real life, them boys heavy.
Yeah, I was trying to find a picture in here, so I'll show y'all about me and Snoop. But
that's crazy.
That was a good night though, my man. 100%. You send it to me? Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, but anytime, fellas, man, love to come hang out and chop it up, man.
Thank you,
man. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah.
Thank you again, man. Yockie Joe, it's been 100.
Wax.
Whoa.
That's the guy to get a check with.
Yeah, man.
Don't forget to get your pet neutered and spayed.
Man.
Neutered and spayed your pet. Yeah. That's another check.
He talking about don't forget to get your spayed and neutered. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can kind of see the head kind of cut off, but that's us, me and Snoop.
Okay, from the lunch and blunt.
Yeah, that's me and Snoop in the club.
Lunch and blunt.
Oh yeah, that's dope right there.
You was young as hell right there.
Yeah, man.
Motherfucker, that's like 6'6".
Yeah. Oh, Snoop. Yeah, Snoop tall guy, man. Yeah, Snoop. Yeah. That particular night, that was epic.
A special night.
Epic night, man.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
That's close I've ever got to Pac.
Wow, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that though. Yeah.
That's a hell of a statement.
I feel that. Yeah.
That's what I take from that night.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. I feel that.
Only on the Lunch and Brunch.
Yeah, Lunch and Brunch, big dog.
We'll see y'all next week.
That's what's
All
up.
right.
Peace.